How I made my first $1,000 in passive income. Step by step. You ever hear that phrase, make money while you sleep, and roll your eyes? Yeah, I used to do the same. It sounded like one of those internet myths that only gurus in flashy cars talk about. But then something happened. I actually made my first $1,000 in passive income. And let me tell you, the feeling of waking up and realizing money came in without me doing anything in that moment, that changed everything. Let me walk you through exactly how it happened, the steps I took, the mistakes I made, and the lessons I learned. By the end, you'll see that this isn't some magical formula. It's a mix of planning, trial and error, and a whole lot of patience. Dashwars, the spark. That started it all. It all began on a random night when I couldn't sleep. I was scrolling through videos, and every other thumbnail seemed to scream about passive income. Usually I'd skip, but that night I clicked. The guy was talking about making money through digital products, affiliate marketing, and investments. At first I laughed. Sure, buddy. Sounds easy when you're already rich, but then he said something that stuck. Passive income doesn't mean no work. It means work today that pays you tomorrow. That line wouldn't leave my head. What if I could just create one small thing that worked for me while I wasn't working? The idea of freedom hooked me, even though I didn't fully believe it was possible yet. Yes, step 1. Choosing my first avenue. Now, the hardest part about starting passive income isn't doing the work. It's picking where to start. You've got dozens of options: stocks, rental property, YouTube, digital products, affiliate marketing, even writing ebooks. I didn't have much money, so real estate was out. Stocks sounded boring and way too slow. I wanted something I could actually build. So I picked digital products and affiliate marketing as my starting line. Why? Because all I needed was my laptop and time. But here's the catch. I had no clue how to make people trust me enough to buy anything I suggested. That's where step 2 came in. Step 2. Building a platform. I realized that if I wanted to make money passively, I needed a platform, a place where people would find me, listen to me, and hopefully take my advice. Some people use Instagram, others use TikTok. I decided on a blog and YouTube channel combo. The first month? It was brutal. I was writing articles that nobody read and uploading videos that barely got 5 views, probably my mom and 2 friends. But I kept reminding myself, this is the setup. The payoff comes later. One mini cliffhanger for me was always, what if the next video is the one that takes off? That thought kept me consistent. Step 3. Creating content. That actually worked. At first, I was making random content. Top 10 apps to make money, or best ways to save cash. It wasn't connecting. Then I had this idea. Why not document my own journey? So instead of generic advice, I started titles like, I tried selling a digital product. Here's what happened. Affiliate marketing, my first $10, and why it took 2 weeks. That shift changed everything. People don't just want information, they want stories. They want to see the struggle, the behind the scenes, the failures. And when they see you being real, they trust you more. Step 4. My first affiliate sale. This moment is burned into my memory. One random afternoon, I checked my email and saw, congratulations, you've earned $3.45 commission. It wasn't much. It couldn't even buy a coffee, but it was proof. Proof that the system worked. Proof that if I could make $3, I could make $30, $300, maybe even $3,000. That tiny win fueled me harder than anything. And here's the wild part. While I was celebrating, I realized I earned it when I wasn't even online. I was literally eating lunch. That was the first taste of passive income. Chachuris. Step 5. Scaling up with digital products. Now, $3 wasn't going to pay the bills. I needed a product of my own, so I decided to create a simple ebook guide. Nothing fancy, just a PDF where I shared everything I learned about starting a blog and growing an audience. It took me about 3 weeks to write and design it. I priced it at $15. And honestly, I thought nobody would buy it. But then, slowly, one by one, sales started rolling in. $15 here, $30 there. By the end of the first month, I made $200 just from that ebook. And the best part? I only had to make it once. After that, it kept selling while I focused on other things. Chopper, the setbacks, because it wasn't smooth sailing. I wish I could say it was all easy money from there, but no. I had plenty of setbacks. Some days I'd make nothing. I wasted money on ads that didn't work. I spent nights doubting myself, wondering if this was just a dream that worked for others, but not for me. But every time I thought about quitting, I'd remember that first $3 email. If that was possible, more was possible. Step 6. Putting systems in place. Here's where things got real. I realized that passive income isn't just about having a product. It's about building the system behind it that keeps everything moving, even when you're not around. Think of it like this. You can bake one cake and sell it to someone. That's income. But if you build a bakery that runs whether you're standing behind the counter or not, that's passive income. I needed my little online bakery. So I started with email funnels. I set up a free guide that people could download when they visited my blog. Once they signed up, they automatically received a series of emails I had already written. These emails didn't just sell. They told stories, shared tips, and gently guided readers toward my ebook or affiliate recommendations. The beauty? Once those emails were written and scheduled, they worked on their own. Next came content scheduling. Instead of burning myself out by posting chaotically, I created a calendar. I batched my blog posts and YouTube scripts so they could go live consistently, even on days when I didn't feel like working. That way, my audience saw me as active and reliable, even when I was off spending time with family or taking a break. Slowly, my little system started to feel like a machine. Not a flawless corporate-level machine, but one that had gears turning on its own. Sales trickled in without me hustling 24/7. And for the first time, I felt like I wasn't just building income, I was building freedom. Step 7. The magic number, $1,000. Then it happened, the moment I'd been waiting for. I logged into my dashboard one random morning, rubbing sleep out of my eyes, and there it was in black and white. $1,000 earned. It wasn't from one giant sale. It was a mix of ebook purchases, affiliate commissions, and a little bit of YouTube ad revenue. But altogether, it added up to 4 digits. I just sat there staring at the screen, my heart pounding. To someone else, $1,000 might not sound huge, but for me, it was everything. It was proof that all those late nights, all those doubts, and all those experiments hadn't been in vain. Proof that I could build something real. The best part? I didn't have to trade every single hour for it. This wasn't the same as clocking into a shift or grinding through overtime. This was money that came in while I slept, while I rested, while I lived. And in that moment, it hit me. This is what freedom feels like. The biggest lessons I learned. Looking back, here's what I'd tell anyone starting this journey. Pick one lane first. Don't try everything at once. Focus on one avenue until it works. Scatter your energy and you'll burn out fast. Tell your story. People don't want perfect robots. They connect with honesty, struggles, and real experiences. That's what builds trust. Be patient. Passive income feels painfully slow at the start. You'll question yourself. But once momentum kicks in, it snowballs faster than you expect. Systems matter. Automations, schedules, and funnels may sound boring, but they're the backbone of passive income. Without them, you're just working another job. Celebrate the small wins. That first $3 email? That was the seed. Without celebrating it, I might have quit before reaching $1,000. Small wins keep you alive long enough to see big ones. Why? That $1,000 was more than just money. That first $1,000 didn't just change my bank account, it changed me. It gave me a kind of confidence I'd never felt before. Up until then, I thought the only way to survive was to work harder, longer, and hope for promotions that may or may not come. That $1,000 whispered something different. You can take control. You can create your own path. It wasn't about luxury or buying fancy things. It was about freedom. Freedom from constantly checking the clock. Freedom from the idea that my income was capped by someone else's decision. That moment showed me that I didn't have to accept the traditional path of working 40 years, retiring exhausted, and hoping I had enough savings to enjoy whatever years were left. It also revealed something bigger. The internet really has leveled the playing field. You don't need to be born into money, or live in a huge city, or have some rare skill set. With consistency, creativity, and patience, anyone can carve out a little corner of independence. And honestly, that realization was worth far more than the money itself. It was proof that freedom wasn't just a dream for other people. It was real, and it was possible for me, and maybe for you too. Where I went from. There. Of course, I didn't stop at $1,000. Once you get a taste of what's possible, it's like opening a door you didn't even know existed. I kept experimenting, trying new platforms, creating more products, and yes, failing plenty of times along the way. There were weeks I made almost nothing, and moments I felt like giving up. But that first $1,000 was my reminder, this works. It kept me moving forward, even when results came slow. Over time, $1,000 became $2,000, then $5,000, and eventually much more. But here's the truth. No matter how high the numbers went, nothing ever matched the feeling of that first milestone. That first real taste of freedom is something you carry with you forever. And maybe, just maybe, the same turning point is waiting for you. The only question is, are you willing to put in the effort now, so you can live differently later? A vision for you. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up groggy, grab your phone, and see an email notification. It says, "Congratulations, you've earned money while you slept." What would that do to you? Would it make you smile? Would it light a fire in you? Would it make you realize that you're capable of more than trading hours for dollars? That's exactly what happened to me. And the crazy part is, it didn't stop. If it happened once, it could happen again. And the same is true for you. So if this story sparked even a tiny flame of motivation inside you, don't let it fade. Take it as a sign. Start small. Stay consistent. Trust the process. Because that one little $3 commission email that feels insignificant today could be the seed that grows into your first $1,000 and then into something so much bigger than you can even picture right now. Remember, freedom doesn't come from luck. It comes from action. And the sooner you start, the sooner your story begins. If you enjoyed this journey and want more step-by-step insights into building passive income and creating financial freedom, make sure you subscribe and stick around, because this is just the beginning.